Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you. Appreciate the time and appreciate the kind words that Chairman Goodlatte and my friend Mr. Collins have tossed my way. We do get along up here, amazingly enough. People think that we all just fight all the time and we have nothing in common. There's some big issues that do divide us, and that's why you have competitive elections with two parties and two different debates. But most folks up here get along and are friends, and we do have legislation we can work on, and this is one of those places where Mr. Collins and Mr. Goodlatte and other members of the Judiciary Committee worked with me and others to bring this bill to the floor. The Equal Access to Justice Act will allow Americans to recover attorney's fees and costs when they win a lawsuit against the federal government. This has enabled ordinary citizens, veterans, seniors, small business owners, advocates for clean air and clean water, et cetera, to fight unfair or illegal government actions without fear of having to pay court costs and without fear of having attorney's fees that they otherwise might not be able to afford. The law has been a success. However, in 1995, an important reporting requirement was removed from the law, and it made it harder for the public to see how much money the government had awarded. Our bill, H.R. 1033, the Open Book on Equal Access to Justice Act, restores the law's tracking and reporting requirements of payments awarded so the American people can have access to this important information. It would do this by requiring a group called ACUS, an acronym which we have too many of up here, but this one is the Administrative Conference of the United States, a highly respected nonpartisan agency which was greatly championed by Justice Scalia, to post in an online database the fees and costs awarded in these cases. The database would also include the number and nature of the claims involved. The availability of this information will help keep the public informed, help Congress to conduct better oversight. I thank my Judiciary Committee colleague Doug Collins from Georgia for his partnership on the bill. I'd like to thank Representative Schrader and Colin Peterson for their support for this bill on our side of the aisle, as well as Jason Chaffetz, Liz Cheney, Paul Gosar, and Raul Labrador on the Republican side, as well as Chairman Goodlatte. And I'd like to recall the work of our former colleague, Congresswoman Cynthia Lummis, who had this bill in the past, and we worked together to try to make it a bipartisan effort and pass it. She worked doggedly on the legislation for years, and I know that she'll be pleased where that we're building upon her efforts. And while she's no longer here, she's truly in a better place. Wyoming, I think it is, and a nice place. I urge the House to pass the Open Book on Equal Access to Justice Act. Before reserving, I have a statement from, well, Ranking Member Conyers' statement has been introduced. That kind of does it. I reserve the balance of my time, and I was pleased the Cats won.